Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, Mr. Hari, and everyone here. Let me introduce ourselves. We are from Group 1, which consists of myself, Nermina, and two of my friends, namely Fadila Rizalul Yahya and Halda Alifia. We are from P6, Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Science, Institut Teknologi Bandung. Now, we would like to present our paper review about fast detection of SARS-CoV-2 RNA via the integration of plasmonic thermocycling and fluorescence detection in a portable device. As a background about this study, developing fast and reliable diagnostic tools is critical during the current coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19 pandemic, as diagnostic capacity at scale becomes critical to containing outbreaks and to reducing fatality rates. Administering on-site and rapid tests is ideal for patient tracking and contact tracing. Unfortunately, diagnostic tools with such capabilities are not readily available. Imaginary collateral flow assays are fast, small, and cost-effective, but are unsuitable for viral detection during the early disease phase. Nucleic acids amplification tests based on PCR are the gold standard for COVID-19 confirmation, owing to their high analytical accuracy, about 99%. A caveat, however, is the most PCR tests are carried out in decentralized laboratories with often incur logistic overhead, such as sample transfer and protection from degradation and long turnaround times or 2 until 3 days. The objective about this paper is to detect SARS-CoV-2 via a portable device integrating reverse transcription, fast thermocycling, and in situ fluorescence detection in 17 minutes. Next, we're going to move on into methodology. This is a flowchart of the research method carried out that begins with a STAR and nano-PCR assay, a schematic for COVID-19 diagnostic that the process look at to the right of this flowchart. The first one is target area regions for nano-PCR tests. There is N1 and N2 genes for SARS-CoV-2 detection. And next, there is a high-speed nano-PCR diagnostic flow for SARS-CoV-2 detection. A disposable RNA extraction kit. There's a compact nano-PCR instrument for POC application. And the last picture is circular array of the low-power laser diodes and synchronous Ferris wheel for thermocycling of multiple samples. With sensing of laser illumination with Ferris wheel rotation to enable the processing of multiple samples without compromising the total assay time. Okay, after nano-PCR assay schematic, the next step is scientists MPNs of COVID-19. Briefly, the magnetic core was synthesized by non-hydrolytic thermal decomposition of Fe3 at 130 Celsius. And next is MPN induced plasmonic heating. After that, next is MPN induced plasmonic heating, where electrical fields of MPN and gold nanoparticle were simulated using the toolbox in MATLAB. And the last step is testing of clinical sample with nano-PCR for COVID-19 diagnosis. And the methodology is done. Now we're going to move on into result and discussion and move to Halda Alifia.
Okay, thank you, Nina. This is I want to introduce the character of MPNs. This is the MPN for this picture, plasmonic resonance, TAM image of MPNs with coral cells structure and 16 nanometer magnetic core was encased by AU cells. An elemental mapping of AU and FA show an area-specific distribution of the core and AU cell structure. And this is the graphic for MPN in here. right on the plasmonic resonance. For disease, ultraviolet visible cross-section absorption spectrum of an MPN measured with integrating spare at a cell thickness of 12 nanometers. The highest absorbance was measured at 535 nanometers. And this is from the linear profile of the maximum electric field enhancement factor in here, and I estimated magnetization curve of a single MPN as measured using a vibrating sample magnetometer. MPNs are superparamagnetic at room temperature 20 Celsius, and this is cluster from of MPN was realized by dipolar interaction under magnetic field application. And this is the hydrodynamic size of MPNs before after clustering as measured by DLS. The size increased from 50 to 530 meters. And for disease, for the fluorescence, and this is thermal image plasmonally heated MPN solution. The spectrum of MPN with heat, and this is temperature profile of MPN solution with different wavelengths of light illumination. And this is effect of concentration of the temperature profile and high speed plasmonic thermocycling profile of MPN solution. For disease, after combining the RT-PCR reaction, the nano-PCR automatically moved in magnet Ferris wheel on disease schematic of the synchronous Ferris wheel. On this Ferris wheel, disease and readout fluorescence signal using an internal ultraviolet light emitting diode, LED, and a photodiode. And under the field gradient created by the magnet, is MPN clustered and sedimented to the tube bottom. And I want to introduce the character of MVS. This is MVS for in situ detection of application, the evaluation of disease, and the second picture, evaluation of the lot, is a horizontal line of nano PCR with the amounts of N1 RNA and specificity evaluation for strain of coronavirus. And this is for the different of strain of coronavirus, SARS-CoV. This is on picture 3 named SARS-CoV-19, SARS-CoV-2, MERS-CoV, and SARS-CoV. And the higher is SARS-CoV-2. Without MVS, applicant signal from fluorescent amenities was barely detectable, and for between MPN and FEM, it's more good without the MVS character. And this is move to result.
Okay, after that, this study tasked the clinical samples to validate nano-PCR's clinical applicability with the samples, that is a total of 150 samples were analyzed by nano-PCR and conventional RT-PCR. The first 100 samples were used as a discovery cohort and the remaining 50 were used as a validation cohort. In the figure B, it is the evaluation of analytical concordance between nano-PCR and RT-qPCR. The results were positively correlated, like we can see in the figure, with presence R value are of about 0.87 for N1 and 0.78 for N2, and for RPP30 is 0.70. Next, we assess the diagnostic accuracy of nano-PCR. Here in the figure below, it is the control normalized N1 and N2 signal levels, that is FN1 and FN2 for 50 patients with COVID-19 and 50 patients of controls. And of about the figure below that, it is the result of F values were significantly higher in the patients with COVID-19 with symbol positive rather than patients in controls in symbol negative. And the figure E, it is the ROC curves. The AOC was 1 for both N1 and N2. The F cutoff values for diagnostic were determined from the ROC curves, that is 0.15 for FN1 and 0.05 for FN2. And figure F is the diagnostic accuracy that is further confirmed with the validation cohort, or the samples that is 50. The cutoffs, the dotted lines below from the discovery set were applied. As in figure D, F values were significantly higher in the patient with COVID-19, symbol with positive symbol, that rather than in controls patients, or the symbol in negative. And here the figure G is the waterfall distribution of FN1 and FN2 for all of the sample tests, or the samples that is 150. So overall, rapid nano-PCR diagnostic correctly classified all of the clinical samples test, and from that results, we move to the conclusion of the study. Overall, nano-PCR has the potential to decentralize COVID-19 molecular diagnosis and has practical advantages. The advantages itself is, the first is the assay is based on well-established RT-PCR to produce more reliable and accurate, with the accuracy of higher than 99% results than isothermal amplification test. And the second advantage is nano-PCR considerably shortens the PCR reaction time to enable on-site diagnostic. This study prototype system demonstrated such potential, meeting some of the criteria set by the World Healthcare Organization. For example, the criteria are sensitivity of higher than 80%, a specificity of higher than 97%, and assay time of less than 40 minutes. This study, that is nano-PCR, could also be applied for the prompt diagnosis of other infections, such as acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, tuberculosis, and also hepatitis. So that's all from us, Group 1, from this poster presentation. Thank you all for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.